There's Storm. He is the first one due to become a daddy on 10/9, which is Tuesday. So I'll start checking their box for hatching babies on Tuesday. And then right on his heels on Wednesday is Haverty and Lacey and Limey and Luscious. And then we get a gap for a little while before anything else starts to hatch. I don't know. 10/11 is this gal. So, hatch dates are starting to come up. I've gone through, okay, I have 16 pairs in here. I pulled, Izod and Witch, and I pulled Bubba's, Gidget, because her embryos don't survive anymore because she's too old. So here's Bubba back in here with a new girl. She's a nice little hen. She's got a nice body condition. She's a gray-green cinnamon opaline, but yeah, her cere is white, so it's going to be the full 2 weeks before we get anything out of her. There's Bubba going, what the heck? This isn't my cage. So the happy news is that guess what? Miss Katesh is in that box. Yes, Saturn, doing the job. Thank you. I gave up and took Turn and Aquinas and put them out in the big flight cage. So here's the thing with Aquinas. I do have a friend who had a bird that was actually just like Aquinas, and she said he just wasn't ready yet. He's a big, big bird, and he just didn't mature until he was 2. So she's like, keep him, because hers is breeding now. She's like, keep him, and try him again in the spring when he's 2. There's a part of me that's disinclined to do that, but there's another part of me that's like, well, it's kind of interesting to know. Is there, these birds develop more slowly because they're bigger? Is it possible that, you know, that the males are immature for longer? I don't know. And the other thing is Peabody, same family, same line, also proved infertile. I'm not sure he ever bred that hen. Although he likes her and he feeds her, I'm not sure they ever bred. So I'm kind of inclined to keep them. I know Peabody likes girls because he flirts with them all the time, but I'm not sure he bred her, so I don't know what's happening with that. But he's going to be a foster daddy, so the 2 of them can bond nicely, and I definitely will try them again in the spring. Peabody's only a year old, though, not a year and a half, so he won't be 2 in the spring. But we'll have to see. So I don't know. Aquinas is out in the big flight, and I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I'm thinking about it, and I don't have to decide for months on end. So I have 2 empty cages in here. This is Marine and Mercury, who I believe is Bond's brother. I'm sure of it, in fact. And they had their first egg. And I have 3 birds waiting for their cull date. I have established fertility in Mist and Neptune. And I'm waiting for a cull date for Sprite and Fluffy and Buster and Rainbow. So here's the thing. I actually did a little math. I have 11 pairs in here right now that are now waiting for their hatch date. They've been checked for fertility. They've been checked on their cull date, although I didn't cull anybody because I don't have enough embryos to bother. But here's the thing. Fertility is way, way down from what it was last spring. Which tells me that I do not have these birds out here at their optimal breeding time. And this isn't just for the older hens. Now, the older hens were never very fertile in the first place. But my younger hens and my hens that are, you know, in the long term, usually pretty darn fertile. Sky has 4 fertile eggs out of 6. Razzle and Remington, who are young and fertile myrtles, has 7 eggs, but only 4 embryos. Coco and Kobe, who have a history of good fertility, 7 eggs, but only 2 embryos. What I'm seeing is that this pretty much, I believe every nest except for Haverty and Lacey, the first egg was infertile. And what that tells me is the hens went to nest fast, like they were over ready, and the males weren't, and it took them a while to catch up and jump up on top of the fertility thing. In the spring, that pattern of the first egg being infertile didn't happen. My fertility was like 90%. Whereas right now, with 11 pairs, I have 27 embryos, which is about 2.5 chicks per pair. Which puts, and in the individual nests, fertility is anywhere from 40 to 70%, averaging out at less than 50. So what that tells me is I probably waited too long. My hens were obviously visibly ready to breed by the 1st of September. But everybody kept telling me, no, you're breeding the 1st of October. You're breeding the 1st of October because the bands are coming. Yeah. And I've made the foolish mistake. This is Limey, by the way. Who's going to be a daddy in 3 days. We hope. 1 embryo. I'm praying to God, Limey. So anyway, I made the mistake of listening to breeders before and breeding off season, breeding all winter, breeding here, and it just doesn't work. I mean, and then they sit there and say, oh, my bird's infertility. And I'm like, well, if you breed them in the dead of winter, duh. But I do believe there are 2 breeding seasons, one in the spring and one in the fall. The question is whether or not the bands are coming in time to band the babies. The birds don't give a flying fig. So I have to be more responsive to what the birds are doing. And I've got it, the hens were ready to go by September 1st, probably before then. They had their egg weight on, they were sassy, they were kicking all the food out of their dishes, trying to make nests out of them, they were randomly breeding in the cages. I put them out on September 15th, thinking I was going early, but I would say it wasn't early enough. So, based on the low fertility, I think I missed their optimal time, and they were kind of headed out the door the wrong direction. So, next year, for next year's purposes, outdoor birds, I am putting these guys up probably September 1st. I'll play it by ear and watch how they all look and such, but this whole business of waiting until October 1st so that you can put next year's bands on the chicks is like, well, great if you only want half the chicks that you were going to get because you waited so long that the birds are going out of season. That's kind of goofy. So yeah. And I absolutely do not have to cull a single embryo. I have tons of room. I'm averaging out at 2.5 embryos per pair. Of course, some of them don't have any of their own, and some of them have more than that. But in the end, there will be a home for every embryo that hatches. So that's a good thing. And then I kind of have 2 subsets. I have the 11 pairs that we're waiting for their first hatches coming up starting this week. And then I have these 2 pairs who are still waiting for a cull date. This is Sprite and Fluffy and Buster and Rainbow. And then this girl who's got 3 eggs in there, and this girl who only has 1 egg in here. So they're another subset that are probably 4 to 5 days afterwards of the others. So, but the thing is that they overlap. So say these guys are 4 or 5 days after her, and she's 4 days ahead of her, but that's talking about their first chick. If I want to foster, I can still very easily foster one of their youngest chicks to her, or one of her oldest chicks to them, and there will be an overlap in age. So, I'm going to have plenty of room for fosters. I really don't have to worry about it. So, so that's the deal. Where I have a first hatch is supposed to be Tuesday, 10/9. And we'll start checking boxes after hatch dates. to see who hatches what day. I did do the cold date switcheroo. This is Lilith and Hardy, 2 live embryos I took out of that nest. And last time I checked Angel, she only had 1 live embryo, but she had 2 when I looked today. So she kept 1 of her embryos, took 2 of Lilith's embryos, and I put Angel's other embryo up here, a regular parakeet chick, which I'm guessing is going to be a hardy little creature, and we'll see if Lilith manages to hatch it out and take care of it. Because, like I said, she's lost 2 brand new babies, but I have no way of knowing whether that's her behavior or whether the chicks were compromised. Maybe she just got unlucky. So she does have a live egg in there, and when it hatches, I'll keep an eye on it. But it's Angel's baby, not her own, because there's every possibility that I will not get the Texas clear-bodied chick hen that I'm looking for, because there's only 2 embryos. But at least I'll get something from her, because she's a valuable hen. She's got good size and a lovely feather. So I'd really, even if they're not, if I don't get that 1 in 4 visual Texas clear-body hen chick that I'm looking for, I will get valuable chicks out of her. I just know it. And I'm praying to God we're going to get something out of this girl, too. 1 embryo. Let it hatch. Let it be good. Okay. It's coming. Tuesday and Wednesday. We start checking for babies. Laurel down here is still hanging in there. She's on regular water today. And she's still eating. She had put on a bunch of weight because of the electrolytes. So I think she's feeling a little better. She's still not super active, but she's very, very broody. Just going to sit on her eggs. And she has 2 embryos in there, and they're due to start hatching. If she's still not feeling well when they hatch, I may take another one and drop it on somebody else. I have room, so maybe I'll give one to Luscious up here, because she only has 1 embryo in there. So, okay, that's it.